Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Y'all know I'm a big Drake fan. I'm a little bit biased, but not even I am saying that Drake won. So I hope there's more context to this. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Friday. It's Friday. Yo, you know it's my favorite day of the week. I'm amped. I cannot wait for my weekend to get started. I got one more hour to the weekend. All right, let me get this show on the road so I can get out of here. All right, I got two lead stories for you guys. We're going to talk about an NBA player, Glen Davis, who is going to jail for 3 years. Then we're going to talk about a teen that slapped a teacher that he is going to be tried as an adult, according to the Supreme Court. Then we're going to get quick news. Of course, we're going to talk about Drake. He put out a cryptic message. Tory Lanez weighs in on the Kendrick and Drake battle. Charlamagne tells us something about Drake that we always knew, but he just confirmed it to us. And then we got a story about Gary Owens and his ex-wife. Then we're going to jump into speed news. We're going to talk about Drake again. Then we're talking about Justin Bieber having a baby, Black Twitter, Sukihana, Coi Leray, and then Shaquille O'Neal. Then we're going to jump into question of the day. And of course, we're going to close out with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Former NBA player Glen Big Baby Davis laughs on IG Live after being sentenced to 40 months for defrauding the league's insurance plan. Okay, I thought this was very, very odd when I heard the headline. Let me find a story for you guys. One sec. Glen Davis was all jokes after being sentenced to 40 months in federal prison. He was originally facing up to 20 years. All right, so maybe that's where he's laughing at because he saved himself 17 years. He was convicted of wire fraud, healthcare fraud, and conspiracy to make false statements and conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud after submitting $132,000 worth of claims. He's one of 20 players involved in a $5 million plot. All right, I guess we answer our question of why he's happy and laughing about it because he was about to get 40 years and only got 3. But I mean, who is really happy to be sent to jail? Like, this is crazy. Anyways, here's a clip.
I got a cold imagination. I'm gonna have to choke the chicken in the bathroom. I'm gonna be swole though. I swear to God, I'm about to get in so much shape. That's the only way you can stop me from eating hamburgers is put me in jail.
This guy said, I'm about to be swole. This guy's said he's gonna be working out. The only way to stop him from eating hamburgers is going to jail. I don't know, man. These dudes are built different than me. I wouldn't be on IG Live smiling and laughing, knowing that I'm going to jail. And why is he out on the street being sentenced? It's super weird, but I guess maybe if it's a non-criminal crime. But normally once you get sentenced, you start serving your time right away, right? But like I said, I think maybe because it's for fraud or wire fraud, it's not criminal. He's not a danger or flight risk. I guess maybe he's sentenced and then he has to turn himself in to serve his time. But for those of you who remember Big Baby, Glen Davis, he is going to jail for 40 months for wire fraud. I mean, you are an NBA player making millions of dollars. Why are you trying to fraud the system? $132,000? Like, give me a break. It's like that other player that just got caught for gambling. And, I think he was trying to gamble. What was it, $500,000 or $1 million? Like, you guys made tens of millions of dollars. And even if you're broke, you have friends that are multimillionaires, man. Can't you get a loan, start a business, do something else? Like, he was a big, I'm not saying like LeBron or Kobe level big, but he was, mid-range. He was pretty big back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, man, open up a restaurant, do some marketing, do something with your life, man. These guys out here are just crazy. But hey, I don't know if this is a mental strategy thing for him, but he's laughing. He's going to be fine. But it's crazy to me. Anyways, Glen Big Baby Davis is going to jail 40 months for wire fraud. Still mind-blowing to me. All right, in our second lead story, this is an update. I didn't catch it at first, but this has just gone to the Supreme Court, this case I'm about to tell you about. So For those of you who don't know, I'll fill you in as I go along. But just so that you're not confused, no, I have not talking about this story before. Okay, so the Supreme Court votes to charge teen captured on video slapping his teacher as an adult. Alleged assault, and he allegedly assaulted another teacher as well. All right, I'll read to you the story so you can get the backstory. A North Carolina high schooler who was caught on camera assaulting his teacher will now be charged as an adult. According to courtroom documents, 17-year-old Quirvius Hickman was indicted on assault and kidnapping charges last week from two separate incidences. The first incident, which landed Hickman misdemeanor riot charges, was an attack on a male teacher at school. The second incident, which went viral on social media, shows Hickman walking up to a female teacher and slapping her. His case was transferred from juvenile detention to the Supreme Court, where a jury voted to indict him. In a statement from Fawcett County District Attorney Jim Neal said, "We stand with the teachers. We will fight to protect those teachers. And if you lay a hand on teachers or assault teachers, you can expect the punishment to be swift and severe." All right, I have a clip of the video. There is a warning on it, so it's warner discretion because it is violent. It is abusive. So for those of you who are watching, if you don't like to see these things, look away or skip or whatever. For those of you who are not watching, you could go onto my YouTube channel and do want to see it. It's at Trent Out Loud. But here's a clip.
One more time. Oh! What? Do you think that affected me any? Let me hit you again. I don't want it. Let me hit you again. My God. Oh!
For those of you who can't see it, like this is not like a slap or a backhanded slap. Like this is almost to the level of punching the teacher. He hits her so hard, her hair flips and whips around in her face. And she is sitting there. I don't understand how she's even conscious from this hit, but she's sitting there trying to not antagonize him even more. And she's just there literally taking it. But wow. Anyways, this was all over social media. Of course, people are reacting to it. And I like this. You want to do adult crimes as a 16 or 17-year-old, you will be tried as an adult. For those of you who don't know, obviously, I guess it's not obvious to some people, but things you do as a juvenile, you get way lesser time. You cannot go to like penitentiary and it doesn't get put on your record. But in certain cases, like for murder or an aggressive assault like this, if you're close to being an adult, like I think you could be tried from 16 or 17. Obviously, it doesn't apply if you're like 12 or 13 years old. But yeah, if you're 16 or 17 years old and you do a crime like this, you can be tried as an adult. So now this will live with this guy for the rest of his life and he'll have a criminal record. So anyways, it's nice to see the Supreme Court getting it right for once. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Drake shares this clip from the series A Man in Full on his IG story. I've never actually heard of this movie, the series A Man in Full. I'm going to play the clip for you real quick, but I won't be able to play the whole thing, as you guys know. But the line says, "But when you die, will people notice? When I go, there's going to be a lot of memories of me." And the series, the video is a man just lying down. So I don't know what Drake is trying to say. Like, hey, you guys want to end me. You don't want Drake around. You guys are going to miss me when I leave. I guess that's what it's supposed to mean. Anyways, here's a clip. I'm going to play it for you.
Well, I know there will be a lot of memories of me by a lot of people. Many will hate me, even so.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say by this, but I don't know. I don't really. For this whole beef started, I've always tell you guys, from this beef started, I've always told you guys, I don't like Drake on Instagram and posting stuff in his stories. A couple of them were funny, but I've always said throughout the whole battle, I'm like, Drake, stop with the Instagram memes, stop with the stuff, like get in the booth. You know what I mean? Like, I just, I don't know, but I hope he's okay, but are we supposed to like start feeling sorry for him now or whatever? Like, I don't know. I don't know what he means, but I'm still in Drake's corner. Drake, get in the booth, give us a hit. I know some people are saying the battle's over. I have some other stories that we're going to talk about this, and it could be over. Maybe it could be, and I'm just delusional, but I still think that Drake has another chance to at least put out a hit and try to like even things out. Because Kendrick is, they're definitely talking about Kendrick out here and not talking about Drake. All right, in our second quick story, Tory Lanez believes Drake won the rap battle against Kendrick Lamar. Charlamagne. Joe Budden reveals. So I have a little clip. Joe Budden's podcast is really heavy on copyright, so I really can't play a lot, but I'll play a little clip so that you can hear it coming out of the horse's mouth.
Spoke to Tory Lanez that night. He picks Drake in the battle.
Okay, he doesn't give us any context. He just says that, he was at the strip club. Somebody called him on three-way. He went into the bathroom and he was talking to Tory, and he thinks that Drake won. Now, listen, y'all know I'm a big Drake fan. I'm a little bit biased, but not even I am saying that Drake won. So I hope there's more context to this. Like as I say, I'm like, Drake is losing in the public perception, but like he's really winning when you really dissect it, or it's like really like even when you dissect it because of the lie. But I still wouldn't come out and be like, Drake won the battle. So I don't know if Tory is just literally just being blindly loyal and not thinking, but you cannot literally just come out and say Drake won hands down. Like even I would even say that. You got to have some buts and some excuses and you got to be able to say like at least like, hey, here's my reasons why I think it's even, or here's my reasons why I don't think Kendrick is all the way on top, or Kendrick might be leading a little, but don't count Drake out. But like for you to say, hands down, Drake won, like, that's crazy. Even from me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So I'm going to just give Tory the benefit of the doubt. Shout out to my Canadians. I'm riding for my Canadians heavy, if you guys haven't noticed. But I'm going to give Tory the benefit of the doubt that, well, two things. He's in jail, so maybe he's not getting every single thing that we're getting. But even at that, man, come on, even in jail, you know that Not Like Us is out. It's charting. Like if you know about the battle, you must know enough. So anyways, maybe he's not actually seeing the momentum that Kendrick is leading with, or there's just more context and Joe didn't explain it. I'm going to go with the latter. I just think Joe didn't explain it and was just giving us like, the shorter version of Tory. Anyways, shout out to Tory. All right, in our third quick story, Charlamagne the God says behind the scenes, the industry has always actively rooted against Drake. And he says it's probably because he's from Canada. Again, it's from a podcast. I really can't play a lot of this clip, but here's a small clip from Charlamagne's podcast, Brilliant Idiots.
Behind the scenes, they've always been against Drake.
Why?
Probably because he's from Canada and, he's probably because he's not American. I don't know.
So shout out to my boy, Friday Ricky Dread. He's a streamer from Canada, like I guess the equivalent of academics up here in Canada. He was actually on Axe Show. And while he was on Axe Show, by the way, follow him, follow his YouTube page too. We love hip hop. So Friday was saying on Axe stream that he thinks 100% it's only because he's from Canada, that if he was from Memphis, if he was New York, if he was LA, like everybody would love Drake and there would be no hate. And the hip hop industry, hip hop started in New York. West Coast has planted their flag. Atlanta now has their scene that they look at it as an American sport, an American genre, and they don't want to see somebody from Canada leading and winning their sport. I agree that there might be some people in the industry that has actively hated on them. I obviously Charlamagne is saying that it's because he knows, and he goes on to explain that he's like, throughout my years, I've talked with record execs and you could hear the hate and you could see the hate. Joe Budden actually said that on his latest podcast too, where he was like, the industry hates Drake, right? What Joe Budden was talking about, it was more that the industry hates him because he's always sleeping with everyone's girls and that's dirty, whatever. So two different things. But regardless is that there's been hate. The one thing I will say is I don't know so much about the girls thing. That's between dudes. I will say something about that. Like guys that get mad at guys if their girl sleeps if a girl sleeps with the another guy, like, you did me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you slept with my girl. Like, thank you. Like, I'm giving you a high five. You know what I mean? That means like she wasn't down. So thank you for letting me know. I was fooled. You know what I mean? So I would never get mad at another dude for sleeping with my girl. Like that is horrible. I would literally high five him. That's one thing, just my opinion. Second thing, the industry thing, more what I want to talk about is that yeah, maybe the industry hated him because he was Canadian, but I actually do think that's actually a big part of Drake's success is because he was from Canada. So although the industry may have kind of worked against them, I think for the past 10 years, it was a breath of fresh air to not have somebody leading the hip hop industry that has a New York sound or an LA sound or an Atlanta sound. And it added a different mix to hip hop. And we've never seen it done before. I mean, we know that places in the world have a hip hop, industry. England has it as a big, from Top Boy. We all know that they have a big, huge love for hip hop out there, but you've never seen it like lead the airways. So I think that's probably, it maybe worked against them, but it also made him who he was. I really don't think Drake would have been as big as he was or is if he came from New York or if he came from LA. And you know what I mean? Like, that's why Snoop had the run that he had, because hip hop was huge in New York in the 80s and early 2000s. And then Snoop Dogg came out and it was just a different sound. You heard about different things, different streets, Watts, Compton, LA, West Side. And it was different from hearing about Brooklyn and Queens and Flatbush. And you know what I mean? Like, so I just think that, and then you got the Atlanta wave. And even for a second that you had St. Louis with Nelly, a little clip, a little quickly Detroit. So anyways, this is quick news, so I can't go on too long. But yeah, I think that it hurt him being a Canadian, but it also made him have the success that he had, and he would not have had that much big success if he wasn't Canadian. All right. In our fourth and final quick story, it's actually not about Drake. Surprise, surprise. Gary Owens confirms he's welcomed two twin. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but he's welcomed twins and shares how his relationship with his elder children deteriorated since his divorce. Actor and comedian Gary Owens chatted it up with Shannon Sharpe during a candid interview and talked about the expansion of his family, but also the decline in the relationship with his eldest children. He confirmed that he did welcome two twin boys. I knew I saw that somewhere. So two twin boys, and talked about what it's like becoming a dad again. However, he shared the hurt he's been experiencing when it comes to how his relationship with his eldest children has suffered since divorcing their mom. There's actually something here where his wife commented something too, where, anyways, I don't know. I think his wife came out and said something about like, I'm going to let you continue these lies. Actually, here it is. So when that came out, I'm actually watching the Gary Owens interview on Club Shay Shay. Y'all know I'm always trying to plug Shay Shay. Go follow him on YouTube and watch his podcast. It's a pretty good interview. So his wife now came out and posted this and said, "My growth is not feeling the need to address mistruths anymore. The grace and kindness I have shown you is the space to tell lies and false narratives for sympathy and attention without correcting. You are a great storyteller. Sometimes I get caught up in your versions." She said, "Always wishing you well." So, Gary Owens and his wife are beefing. This is the week for beef. But anyways, so just wanted to plug this in here to have a story that's not about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I love Gary, man. He's a dope comedian, and I'm right in the middle of watching Club Shay Shay. If you guys like Club Shay Shay and you like Gary Owens, suggest you to check out the interview. Interesting to see that Gary Owens is now a new father at this age, and to hear about what he's going through with his existing family. All right, this brings us to Speed News. Ring my bell. Last night, this was Wednesday night. So Wednesday night, fans of 21 Savage's LA show sang Drake's lyric word for word, defying expectations of Kendrick's dominance. Really happy to hear this. I have a little clip. Listen to the crowd. That is in LA. I've seen clips of Rick Ross performing Aston Music, but I think that was like in Vegas and other places. And this, why it's surprising is that there's a lot going on right now, of course, in LA with Kendrick and Drake or whatever. And I've heard teachers saying, they're booing Drake in the classrooms or whatever. But this is nice to see at a stadium in a big setting, and you have 21 Savage and the crowd is still singing. It goes to what I say, that when people are like, yo, Drake's career is over, Drake is way too big of an artist for his career to be over off of something like this. For sure, he's going to get a little bit of hate for the next week or 2 weeks. It's going to die down. I saw something the other day on the charts where it says Kendrick Lamar's streams are up like 40% and Drake's are down 5%. But then when you swipe and read the details, Kendrick Lamar's streams are up, like I can't remember what it was, 40, 50%, but his total streams were 50 million. Drake's were down 5%, but his streams were 100 million. So Drake's streams down and Kendrick's up. Drake is still beating him by double the amount of streams. And this is on a week where Drake is having the most amount of hate. He still has 100 million streams and Kendrick Lamar only has 50. And this is the highest Kendrick is ever going to be, because when Kendrick makes an album once every 5 years. So in the next couple of weeks, people are going to forget about Kendrick Lamar. You're not even going to hear about him. We'll go back to loving Drake. And this is further proof. All right. In our second speed story, Justin Bieber announces that he and his wife are expecting their first child. His wife, Hailey Bieber. There's really nothing much else to the story, but congratulations. And I know there's some Bieber fans out there. So Bieber fever is on the way. Congratulations to Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, who share that they are expecting their first child together. It's kind of weird, though, to be like, yo, Justin Bieber is going to be a dad. I remember seeing him on like YouTube as a child, you know, when Scooter Braunson like discovered him playing guitar, and to see now that, you know, he's all grown up and Justin Bieber is expecting a child. Yo, we're getting old, man. All right, in our third speed story, Black Twitter: A People's History is a 3-part documentary series now streaming on Hulu. All right, I pulled this story really quickly because I thought it was really dope. It says, we know Black Twitter will forever be a part of culture. This 3-part documentary dives into the rise, moments, voices, and memes that made Black Twitter a dominant and influential force. And then it goes on to say, tell me your favorite Black Twitter moment. So I thought this was really cool. I have a little clip. I don't know how much of it I can play for you. Here, take a listen.
I swear to God, Rihanna posted her net worth next to Tiana Taylor's net worth. God, that woman was ruthless.
Yeah, so it's just showing like little clips of like, in 2010, Rihanna did this, and then crazy, everything went viral, and then in da-da-da. So it's just kind of just like taking us back in time to viral clips. And you know, when something makes it onto Twitter, especially Black Twitter, you know, it's like the viral moment, right? It's kind of like what the Shade Room does now, where I think I do it every first of the month, where you show what the viral moment is for each month, and then at the end of the year you have a calendar. So this is what it's going back to. So for those historians and like drama from, you know, 10 or 15 years ago, this series is out for you. Y'all know I love viral moments. I mean, my whole show is based on what's viral in the day. So I will definitely be watching this on Hulu. Again, the title is Black Twitter: A People's History. It's a 3-part documentary. All right, in our fourth speed story, Sukihana is still going at JT. She put out a post on her Instagram. She goes, just know I got another one in the vault. Let's see the lame response she comes with. Also, babe, the plug you said reached out, but here's one more for you. I don't know what that means. Also, babe, the plug said you... Oh, sorry, I read it wrong. She said, also, babe, the plug said you reached out, but here's one more for you. I still don't get it. Also, babe, the plug said you reached out, but here's one more for you. I am not I am not abreast of what is going on in this beef, but Sukihana is going at JT again, or maybe she's waiting to go. I don't know. I'm lost in this one. I've had enough beef for the week. All right, in our fifth speed story, Coi Leray twirling her little petite clappers on the pole. Those are not my words, by the way. This is the blog's words. And she said, y'all throwing ones at her or not. Sorry, no, the blog said y'all throwing ones at her or not. So I don't know what, there's no context to this, but Coi Leray looks like she was in a strip club. I'll put the video up. She's totally clothed by the way, but she has a G-string, but she's literally like on stage. People are throwing ones at her, and yeah, she's looking good. She's dancing, and there's other girls around there too. But like I said, I don't have any other information, but I doubt, I don't know, maybe it's a video. I don't know. If anybody has information, let me know. Send me a DM or an email. Trying to allow it at CFQR600.com. But you know me, I'm a big Coi Leray fan, so I ain't complaining about this at all. Shout out to Coi Leray. All right, in our sixth and final speed story, Tusi calls out Shaq and says he's a weird ass old head after he DM'd Tusi's BM talking about their son and an attempt to flirt with her. Again, like I said earlier, these dudes getting mad at guys for flirting with their girls is crazy to me. Anyways, Tusi said, one time this N-word DM'd his girl and said, let me have that baby, talking about my son. And he said, weird ass old head. And then they actually okay, hold on. This is a little bit different. Yes, this would actually piss me off too. He showed actually the DM from Shaq, and he said, man, I don't know if this is how old N-words flirt or what. And yeah, Shaq sent her a DM and said, can I have that baby? This is weird, man. Shaq, you got some explaining to do, bro. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, this is a really good one. If you could choose an infinite supply of one thing except money, what would it be? All right, James Green Jr. said gold. Okay, good one. Candy McKinnon said God's love. Love that one. Windog82 said cocaine, because if I'm ever busted, I would still have an unlimited supply in prison where it would be worth even more. There's layers to this. What a horrible answer. That doesn't even make no sense. Mr. Got Beats said knowledge. Very good answer. See, because with knowledge, then you could do anything you want. Somebody said oil, and then it said, yo, this is chess, not checkers. Good answer. But I would say to you, kid convict _ official, is oil going to be valuable in 20 years from now, even 15 years from now, when it's all electric cars? Is oil still going to be worth? Be careful. It's infinite. You'll never have too much of it. You have an infinite supply. It will never run out. You got to have something that you'll never have to, that will always be a commodity, always, in 100 years from now. Somebody said time. See, that's smart. You'll always need time. You might not always need oil. Somebody said F's to give. That's hilarious. That's actually funny. Somebody said health. That's another good one. Food to end world hunger. That's really nice of you. I am live 82. Somebody said access to the book. Somebody said access to the books at the Vatican. Okay. All right. Somebody said God's grace. Love that one. Somebody said weed or food or gas. Why would you want an unlimited supply of food? Somebody said gasoline. I'm about to open up a gas station. Again, y'all ain't thinking forward, yo. Good health for my kids forever, said Melanie Good _. Another person said wisdom. Somebody said 1 pound gold bars. See, that's a good answer. Unlimited supply of 1 pound gold bars. Somebody said fully built cars. F the money. I want the full garage. What? Yo, these people are really not thinking about this answer. All right, somebody said food, peace, because then I wouldn't want anything else. That's nice. And knowledge. And somebody said knowledge over everything. Yeah. So weed. Somebody said gold, diamonds, Bitcoin, narcos. For me, the thing I would want unlimited of would be good health. So I could be here forever. Because the money's going to come and go. Whatever you think of, as much as I'm saying oil or even gold, I mean, gold has always forever been. But if you have good health and unlimited time, well, I guess, yeah, health. Because he can't even ask for unlimited time because you'll have unlimited time, but you'll be unhealthy. You'll eventually die. But if the only thing you can have that's unlimited is unlimited good health, you'll live forever. And who cares if you're living in a box, if you're living on a street, as long as you're living, you have life. You could work, you could do whatever you want and make your life great because you're living. People get caught up in the material things all the time. It's not the material things that make you happy. It's literally being alive, having the opportunity to have those things that will make you happy. Y'all just don't realize that. All right, this brings us to sports news. Patrick Beverley has been suspended 4 games without pay for forcefully throwing a basketball multiple times at the spectators and inappropriately interacting with a reporter during media availability, the league announced. So we all knew this was coming. I don't understand why it took so long, but it does put in question, why wasn't Jamal Murray suspended if Pat Bev is being suspended? I know throwing a basketball at a fan is 100% bad, obviously, but Jamal threw a heat pack at players. Well, he flew it at the ref, but it landed where the players were playing during a play. They could have slipped, sprained their ankle, busted their knee. Like, there could be so many other things. So if Jamal isn't, and by the way, I know a lot of people are like, he should have got suspended or whatever. I said it before, I'm not mad that they didn't suspend Jamal because I like the fact that Denver has an opportunity to play game 3 and not get swept. But I did say, hey, I think you should fine them like $500,000 or $1 million. But then Pat Bev throwing a basketball, nobody got hurt, nobody got injured. So throwing a heat pack on the court at a ref or throwing a basketball, you're still throwing something. Pat Bev also was in the locker room, and a reporter asked him something. He said, by the way, do you follow my podcast? And she said, no. And he said, well, if you don't follow my podcast, you can't ask me questions, which is super rude. So that adds on to it. But I just still don't think it balances out. One, they both threw things, one at a fan, dangerous. One on the court where you can injure players, dangerous. Fans are just as important as the players. So you're trying to say the only thing that warrants a 4-game suspension without pay is the fact that in the locker room saying to a reporter, if you don't follow my podcast, don't ask me any questions. That is what results 4-game suspension without pay. And depending on what his contract is, 4 games without pay is probably going to be more than $100,000. I think they make depending on their contract, but close to $200,000 a game, or let's even say it's $100,000. That means Pat Bev that's going to cost them $400,000, where Jamal is just $100,000. So, anyways, I don't know how that equals out, but hey, and is it fair? Anyways, I don't know. It's Friday, man. I'm not going to sit down here and dissect this anymore. All right, this is a wrap for me. I'm out. It was a good week. Thanks for hanging with me. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed all the shows this week. I'm about to go home, chill out, watch some Netflix, watch some Crave, watch some YouTube, and just chill out this weekend on my couch, eat some junk food and some Dairy Queen, and enjoy my weekend very peacefully. I wish you all a good weekend, whether it's peaceful, whether it's clubbing, whether it's family. Oh, and it's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day this Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the aunties, all of that. Happy Mother's Day, the grandmas. Y'all know, well, for those of you who really, really know me, have read my book and bought my book, I'm a big, I'm not a mama's boy, because there's also some negative connotation to that, but I am a big fan of my mother. I'm very close with my mom. So happy Mother's Day, Mom. She's always listening to my show, so she's probably going to hear this. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you. My aunt's also listening to Happy Mother's Day, Auntie Amy, Auntie Beryl. Happy Heavenly Mother's Day. And my sister too. Shout out to all the moms. All right. Happy Mother's Day. I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Also, housekeeping. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube or listening to this on podcast platforms, please check me out Monday to Friday on CFQR600.com, or if you're in the Montreal area, 600 AM. You can check us out weekdays. We play the Trend Out Loud podcast. We mix in 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. It's a really dope show. Helps break up your work day, or if you're at home or whatever. It's a really good way to listen to the podcast. Vice versa, if you're listening to the show on CFQR600.com, anywhere in the world on devices, and you can't always listen from 11 to 12, you're in meetings or you're doing whatever. You can't always catch it. Just remember, you could always catch the exact same podcast on YouTube or on podcast platforms. Just type out Trent Out Loud. When you're on the page, don't forget to subscribe, follow, comment, support your boy, support the channel. Thank you so much. I will see y'all on Monday. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.